I'm trying. YouTube fam, glad you are here for another stream of Talk with Frank Gooden. Um, Guys, today we intend to have a very laid back and casual conversation. Normally, when we jump into objections with my esteemed and sharp debate partner, Jen, with On the Block with Jen, normally when we jump in, we kind of, pick a topic that is pretty serious, usually something that we can definitely go back and forth on in a serious way. But this is a weekend, we want to get laid back a little bit, keep it light. So we're going to go ahead and go with something that is a little more laid back, um, depending on who you are, I guess. Dating turn offs. A lot of us out here in these single person streets, and we're dating and coming back. Hold on, let me see this. What the funk is this? What's happening, bro? Good to see you up in here. Why did I even bring that up? What the funk? Why did I bring that up? Oh my goodness. How about when we do it, we're gonna talk about it before we even get to that part. You just killed me on that one. You just killed me on that one. What's up, bro? Good to have you here as always. So yeah, we're gonna have a kind of a laid back conversation where we just go over. Everybody has the red flags. When we get out here, and um, things that people can say and do that will almost immediately turn you off, or at least kind of leave you with the wrong impression. You know. So you see here, um, I've already thrown that link up. So what I'm gonna do is, as we as we move forward, I'm gonna have you guys do. We got. Sorry, I'm getting crazy text on this one already. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be good. This one's gonna be funny. So okay, you know what? Let me read a couple of these. This is just comedy. Let me first say what's happening before the billions. Before the billions. Glad to see you pop in for what should be kind of a funny one, if nothing else. Um, because what the fuck is our what the fuck is going in? All right, let's see this one. Red flag number 2: when I give control of music in my car, and she play finesse man music, like how you playing music about sucker ninjas, and I'm about to spend money on you. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. No, we're gonna roll with this. This is just funny right here. This is just funny. We're staying with this topic because this is gonna be a funny topic. What are the turnoffs? Sorry guys, it's funny. Here's another one. Red flag number 3 by what the funk is this? Her baby daddy got 10 and look like he can kick his butt. 10, oh, 10 abs. Okay, so not a 6-pack. You're saying a 10-pack? I got you. Before the billions is like facts. Hey, you feel free to type some up in here. Let me turn this off. Oh my goodness. All right. So before the billions, if you want to type some, then that's fine too. What I'm gonna do is this will be something we're gonna play quite a few. I moseyed on over to TikTok, somewhere that I don't usually go over to, the TikTok wasteland. But what's cool about TikTok is that you can kind of, people posting any and everything about any and everything on TikTok. And so, just went over there, did like a dating turnoffs, and it was so many TikToks people had left about it. So, I can play these over here in these YouTube streets. So we're going to uh, review what a few others have said. Let me say what's popping to Shay Vita in the house. Shay Vita in the house. Let's see what Shay has to say. Maybe Shay has some dating turnoffs. And I'm gonna play those, and you are free to object when we play those. You're free to have kind of your own points of view. I'm telling you, what the funk came in hot, like ready, with his. So let's see. I'm just kind of reading some, seeing which ones I can post, because you guys know this is a family channel. We want to keep it kind of family, right? What the fuck? I can't even pull some of yours up. Okay. So yeah, let me do this. Let me play a few of these first before I bring my esteemed colleague up. We're gonna just play. How about I'm just gonna play through one because I got a lot. I'm gonna play through one and then come back. We don't even necessarily have to respond to this one yet, but let's just play through so you guys can get a preview of what's coming. All right, let's do it. Oh, and the audio might be a little bit low. Let's see. Let me know how the audio is. You should be able to make it out, but it might not be as clean as we normally have it. All right, let's see.
Men who think it's cute not to know how to do basic life skills like laundry, cooking, and cleaning. Men who think that they're like pseudo intellectuals and they'll like spend half an hour telling and explaining to me why the earth is flat with nothing but baseless conspiracy theories and Facebook and YouTube videos. Guys that want a 50-50 relationship but still have traditional values. So like they want you to go half and half on the bills, but they also want you to cook, clean, do all of the stuff, look good, keep yourself in check while they do the bare minimum. Men who think having a girlfriend means they have their own in-house therapist or second mom. Men who compare themselves to animal species as an excuse as to why they cannot stay faithful. And men that look like overgrown thumbs having a lot to say about a woman's physical appearance. What was it that gave you the
She was giving a performance, actually. Okay, so let's pull hers down for just a minute. Let's play her first one. Maybe we will see how you guys respond to this one.
Like pseudo intellectuals, and they'll like spend half an hour telling and explaining to me why the earth is flat with nothing but baseless conspiracy theories and Facebook and YouTube videos.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop there. We'll come back to her. So, I mean, really, is how the question I would have is how often is it that we even see something like that, quote unquote pseudo intellectuals, because this person seems like that they run across them pretty frequently here. And there's a flip side of that, because there's a lot of ladies that kind of decide that they want to get intellectual and not really know what they're talking about. That happens from time to time. And is that a turnoff for me? I don't think that's a turnoff for me. It's just kind of funny for me. It's not necessarily a turnoff. It's like you want to, we want to show that you can be smart, but you're out of your depth a little bit. And you're going on and on. Before the billions, I bet you, have you seen that? before, with someone like you who maybe they kind of want to show that you kind of want to show that they can keep up with you when it comes to, say what you do, in IT or, in programming. Have you? I'm wondering if you ever, just let me know some in the chat if you ever see that. What the funk is not playing? What the fuck is on red flag number 8 right now? All right. Looks like I have my. Hold on a second. Let me pull this up real quick. Okay. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Here we go. Okay. So, as you know, this is Objections. And I have my partner in crime, as we get ready to to have a somewhat, laid back conversation here about the things that we do on these dates that can turn each other off and get on each other's nerves. Out here single, it happens. How you doing, Jen?
I'm really, really good. I'm a little late, but I was here. I is here,
Yeah,
right?
it's
And,
all good.
okay, we here, we here. I'm all for this topic. So we're talking about turn offs in general or turn offs only on dates? Because I have like a whole list. Give me 1 second.
You know what? I would say, I'm glad you asked that. When we talk about these, let's probably at least start out talking about the turnoffs in the beginning. So either that might be like, say, on the dating apps, or maybe you get past the dating app and you're on the first date, or you just when you're kind of getting to know somebody. Because a lot of times that, we can talk about our turnoffs once you get to know somebody, and that kind of, I think, maybe is a more regular thing, because as you get to know somebody, nobody's perfect. It's always going to be little things. But what would be the things that would just kind of turn us off and make us say, just kind of be done with it, and you don't get any too much further than that first date? That's how I would say start it, and then we just take it where we want. Oh, you're still on mute. You're still on mute.
I'm a little out of sorts today. I hope y'all rocking with me. I'm a little out of sorts today. So rock with me, people. Okay?
You're
I'm
good.
100 every day. This is what happens when you're trying to multitask. But I am here and I am happy to see you guys in the comments. I hope you're gonna bring it today, because I'm gonna bring it. Disclaimer. Disclaimer. Okay, you guys know I love hard and I love tough. So my turnoffs, right? If you guys fall under any of these categories, okay, we are all going to log off and go on about our lives. I will take my laundry out of the dryer. You will go, shine your tires or whatever it is you do on the weekend. And we will leave here as happy as we came in, right? And remember that my opinion is just an opinion.
Yes.
But
And we can all do that.
my turnoffs, you may fall under that, and your turnoffs, I may fall under that. You never know,
So
right?
we don't take it personal. Exactly.
You can't take it personal. And I think social media has conditioned us to take everything personal, right? I'm 5'3", I talk loud. If one of your turnoffs is I don't like short women and I hate women that talk loud, I gotta take it with a grain of salt, because you and I probably never date, right? Okay.
Right. That's what's up. So before let's not dive in yet. What we want to do, like I played one, and I want to kind of replay a couple of someone who had something to say about it, and let's kind of, maybe as an intro into it, maybe talk about a couple of things that she brings up. How about that?
Cool.
All right, let's do it.
Guys that want a 50-50 relationship but still have traditional values. So like they want you to go half and half on the bills, but they also want you to cook, clean, do all of the stuff, look good, keep yourself in check while they do the bare minimum.
Okay, so let's stop it right there.
That's how you coming out? That's how you want to start this? I better take my ears off. Okay. Okay.
I mean, and a lot of times that can come out right on the first date because the dude might be like, hey, that we're in the this is 2021 now,
Right.
and the ladies want to be independent. Let's go have. And so is that a
Right.
turn off? Is that it's a turn off for her? Is that how much validity is that one?
That's a red flag. That's not a turn. That's a red flag. Okay. I remember, is Patrice in the building? I remember Patrice said that her first date, the guy was like, let's go Dutch. No, sir. No, sir. Right? But with the point, very importantly, first of all, it's a turn off for me, right?
Okay.
Because I think the first date, if the man invites me, it's peacocking, right? He's like, I'm showing you, I'm putting my best foot forward. I'm showing you, I'm trying to, you know what I mean, woo you and show you how I would treat you from here on out, right? Vice versa. If I invite a guy out, you know what I mean? It's like, hey, I'm bringing my A game. So very specifically to her point, men that want a 50-50 relationship, right? But then they come with the old fashioned, but you got to cook clean, always look good, blah, blah. And they have to understand that a 50-50 relationship, this is what people don't understand, right? You can't have both. You cannot. People say you can have everything, you can have both. That's BS. Something is going to suffer, right? So, in short, a 50-50 relationship means that. It means that I'm going to be out there, you know what I mean, busting my tail to bring money in here. You are going to do the same. We're going to split everything, you know what I mean, household chores, errands, the kids, you know what I mean, and what have you. But I think men don't realize what they're asking for. But in my opinion, and you guys will be like, no, that's not true. When a man tells me he wants 50-50, then you want a roommate with benefits. Because if I'm going 50-50 and I'm doing as much as you are to maintain the home, me and you are buddies. And some of that femininity is going to be put on the shelf, right? Whether we like it or not, because a woman that's out in the work world, she has to have a certain armor, right? So, and if she doesn't put her femininity aside, she'll get chewed up and spit out in the workforce. I've worked corporate, as you know. You can't go in there and be a dainty little. You're working with dudes, okay?
Right.
So, I don't think men realize what they're asking for. So if you're willing to sacrifice femininity, then go ahead and go 50-50. But understand, when that woman comes home from work, she's gonna feel like you. I ain't cooking shit. I'm tired. You cook today. I'm not doing that laundry. I'm tired. You do the laundry today. And then you get conflict, because it's the same thing. If you come home from work at 5 o'clock, you don't want to cook, do laundry, take care of these kids. So you're sacrificing the femininity that she could come with, versus if you're taking care of everything, then I understand, all right, when I come home, I want something good to look at. I want my 3 square meals. I want this house clean. Then you can make that demand. And I'll be damned. I'll be damned if you and I are walking in at 6 p.m. and you want me in a push-up bra with matching, beach shorts. Get out my face. I have to clean after working. So no. So I'm with her the way she presented it. And I'm sure the comments are on fire now.
People coming in, they're saying what's happening. So bottom line, that's a turn off. So let's stay with. She says a couple more. I want to hear. I want to finish hers out, and then we can go on another one. Let's hear what else she has.
Let's go. She's making sense so far.
Okay.
Men who think having a girlfriend means they have their own in-house therapist or second mom.
Okay. So in-house therapist, second mom. You think she's reaching there? Should we go on to the next one? Is it even worth talking about?
I object to that one. I object to that one.
Okay, let's keep going.
Lost me with that one.
Okay, let's see this one here.
Compare themselves to animal species as an excuse as to why they cannot stay faithful. And men that look like
so excuses, the excuses that they give for not being able to stay faithful. Is there anything up with that one?
I think that one, I agree with her. I think it's a very silly excuse, like super, super dumb, right? You're not an animal, point blank period. You have a brain, you can think, you know about consequences. If, the lion goes and sleeps with, 3 female lions, there is no consequence to his household, his home, his children aren't traumatized with divorce. So we're not animals in that way. We're animalistic. Yeah, we have certain needs, right? But we have responsibilities, right? We can't just lay around like lions, and infidelity comes with consequences. I
Right.
think that a man should not want a relationship who wants to sleep around. Just sleep around. Don't get in a committed relationship. But in that way, I'm with her because it's like you want the benefits of what a wife does, but then you're an animal
Right.
subsequently, and that's why you can't be faithful, and it doesn't match because if
Mhm.
men were truly animals, their hearts would be unbreakable. I say that
Right.
over and over and over again. If you're truly an animal, right? The lion that has the lioness go sleep with another lion, that first lion isn't crying and trying to kill her and
Mhm.
asking for divorce and saying, why you cheated on me with my boy, right? So if you're
Mhm.
truly an animal, your woman can do whatever and you're not going to feel a thing. Okay. You're
Right.
not going to cry. So they can save that too.
Right, right. Yeah. So asking you shall receive. We got OG Patrice coming up. How you doing, Patrice? The OG in the house.
I don't know. I was out and about and I heard my name ringing in these YouTube streets.
Okay.
How you guys doing?
Really
Doing
good.
good. We here to just we're gonna have a good time with this one, just kind of chop it up and see, what's happening with these dating turn offs. And you know what, a little bit later we're gonna get into, who does it more, which gender does it more.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, this
Right.
is gonna be interesting because
Very
what I'm
funny.
hearing so far, I'm gonna have to side with Jen. I mean, listen, that whole Dutch thing, yeah, nah, I wasn't feeling that, not at all.
Yeah, we remember you bringing that up. What I'm gonna do is play this last one, and then we'll just see if it's worth talking about, and then we're gonna see where we take it from here.
Overgrown
Okay.
thumbs having a lot to say about a woman's physical appearance. What was it that
All
got you?
right, so that one was quick.
Yeah, you know that.
Yeah, I'll just go back to it was basically the men look like overgrown thumbs having a lot to say about a woman's physical appearance. Is that a turnoff?
Yes. Huge, huge, huge turnoff. And I say that all the time. I notice that even online, when you go online, the men that are constantly talking about women's bodies don't look like Tyson Beckford and Jason Momoa and The Rock. It's always some average dude that looks like, what I mean, they would pick to do porn. You know what I mean? With the average guy who doesn't work out. I haven't seen like, buff guys with six pack worrying about a woman's appearance or constantly badgering and bashing women's appearance. So I have to agree with her. If you're going to talk about my appearance, you better look like The Rock up in this bitch. Okay? You better look like something before you come for my appearance. You better look like something. And then I'll be like, hey, all is fair in love and war. You're justified. You take care of your body. So I get it.
Okay, Patrice, you want to jump in on it?
Yeah, I mean, I have to agree with that. It's the funny thing about, and I think Jen can probably attest to this living in Vegas now. When I lived there, I would see some of the most beautiful, gorgeous women with nice bodies with some of the most, like these guys were morbid, obese, and pot bellies, and the whole nine, bald heads, and I say, listen, I say my number one pet peeve is with like the older guys that realize that they are losing their hair. They have the hair is bald in the top, but then they have all the hair around the side and the back. Like, what is that about? Like, just shave it off, just shave it all off. I'd rather you go with the bald appearance than to be sitting up there with the Bozo the Clown effect, the ball in the top and the hair all around the sides and the back. I'm sorry. That just, but the only reason I can look at those type of women and see why they with those type of men is because those men must have a lot of money and they don't require them to take care of their bodies health wise and work out and things like they demand for us the women to look pristine because they want the eye candy on their arms, right? They want to be able to brag to their buddies and their friends and talk about, yeah, look what I got the trophy wife here. But it's totally, they kind of out of pocket for that. It's kind of whack. But if
Okay.
a guy is in pristine, as far as his body, his health, he's into health and wellness, I'm all for that. I'm all for us matching up together and gelling in that sense.
Okay, well, you know what? So we've been going in on the fellas right now. We've been looking at
I
the
had another point to go in on the.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead. All right, I'm gonna let you do it, and then we're
I
gonna have
just
to
wanted
start
to
taking
say,
up for the fellas a little bit.
I just wanted to say, OG Patrice made a good point.
Mhm.
Women, okay, visually will put up with a lot more than a man will. Okay, because we see a lot of beautiful women and they got that average guy on their arm. I do think it's because that guy has something else going on financially, or now the ladies are gonna get mad at me. These guys are safe. They're safe.
Mm.
Not less trouble than let's say me and The Rock, right? Wherever we walk into, every woman is gonna be right. But if I got my little pot belly guy with the receding hairline and the pocket protector, right, I could have my man to myself, and nobody's gonna be in his DMs. So
Nobody gonna be checking for him, as they say.
right.
Nobody gonna be checking for him.
So there's a safe factor too. I get to be, you know what I mean, the glamorous, and it's like ain't nobody checking for my man. He's safe, right? But I'm a visual person, so you got to look like something.
That's true. So you know what? This is the perfect time. We're gonna see if some of these ladies get mad with me now, because I'm about to. Yeah, I'm
I'm
about to.
not. Come on, bring it. I
I'm
can
about
take
to
it. I'm a big girl.
okay, I'm about to hit you with some. It's gonna hurt some of y'all. I don't know about the ones here, but I'm gonna let what the funk kind of lead it, since we're talking about looks as well. So you talk. I'm gonna read this, and then I'm gonna throw my little two cent in, and then I'm about to bring up what the funk if he wants to call in too. Red flag. And I would consider this a turn off. She can't go in water, do the eyelash, makeup, and wig. Okay. See, yeah, I think y'all know where I'm going with it. I'm about to go in here
Ouch.
because the water thing. Okay, all right, but just taking it a step, not even going into water per se. It's the out on the day, and the entire face is someone else. It's extremely heavy makeup. I mean, back in the day, the ladies used to wear makeup and it would accent, maybe bring out beauty, maybe highlight this or that, or cheekbones or whatever. Little lipstick to make them, look a little better, luscious or what have you. But these days,
There's a lot of paint. There's a lot of paint.
and I gotta finish. I need to go in. So these days, the turnoff is it's easy to come in and say, okay, well, the ladies look, you might be a beautiful lady with an average looking guy, but okay, let's keep it real. Is the lady really an average lady? But she has bought her game, and it's about she looks good compared. It's like how good are you with this makeup? And we've all seen those videos where if it rained or just what and it just come off and it
Brain.
looks like you, oh my lord. And so that's a red flag. That's a turn off. The whole cake makeup. Am I lying? Am I wrong for bringing this one up?
No, I mean, no, not at all. I mean, I mean, even me as a woman see some of these women with the eyelashes so long they're like back claws, like, and some of the wigs. I would agree, and heavy on the make.
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't hate on that.
Yeah. So
Well, let me ask, why is it a turn off? Because you think you just don't want that makeup all around your pillowcases and on your couch and on your shoulder, or you're thinking she's hiding something, or you're thinking she's really not attractive? Why is it a turn off?
that part is okay. Thanks for asking that. So yeah, that part definitely. You might with them and you can't even give them a hug. I'm wearing a nice white shirt or something. Can't even give them a hug, and I got a smudge right here. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's not necessarily just that. It's the whole. Um, do you really? It's like I really want to know what you look like. I just want to know.
Mhm.
Do you really
Mhm.
look like this? And so the turnoff is you're getting to know someone, and attraction matters, especially for guys. Everybody knows this. Do you look like this? What do you look like? That's all. So
What's
yeah,
up
that's the
there?
turnoff if it's super heavy. Now a little makeup here and there. No, I don't think too many of the fellas are just anti makeup.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Okay. So good. We had to hit back because they was going in on us over here, and it's two against one right now. So I'm doing double duty.
Yeah,
Did you?
it's funny because what the funk said, she can't go in the water due to eyelash, makeup, and wigs. Well, how often are you men in the water? I mean, is everybody going swimming? What are we talking about here? I mean, what is going on? I've never dated a guy who was a swimmer. Like, what do you mean? Like on vacation, the beach, or just a girl saying, I don't want to wet my hair? Because that's a whole other argument. And you don't want to get me started.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Why we
So
don't just jump in and wet our hair.
we can take this a couple ways. We can actually go with either one if you have something specific you want to talk about and make it personal, or we can just keep going. I've got quite a few videos where we can kind of take a look at what others are saying. This one I just played a female.
That's what the funk wants to follow up. Let's go to the next one. Let's keep them, shoot them out.
Let's do that. Okay. All right. So I played a female the first time. Let me play a male next.
Ooh.
Right.
These two things are the biggest turnoff when you go on a date with a girl for the first time. First one, if your cell phone is like this the whole time, nah. The second one has to be no eye contact. I mean, if you're not interested, I get it. But if somebody's talking to you, don't be doing this. Yeah. Maybe you're shy, I don't know, but that shit is a turnoff.
There you go. Okay. So I agree with those. Now I'll tell you what, just for me personally, on the first one, it's not a huge turn off for me per se. You know, maybe they just want to turn the phone over just because they don't want it going off during the date or whatever. You know, so I wouldn't call it a huge. I would just look at it like, okay, this might be a potential red flag. You know, let me just, you know, scope with third eye a little bit and see, you know, if, you know, things that might be heading a different direction. So, you know, the first one, not necessarily, but the eye contact when we're talking, for me, yes, it's a turn off if they're not an active listener, is what it is for me. We're having this conversation and you just you know, into your drink or la la land, and you're not really paying attention, and you're only offering things from your perspective. That to me all ties into that. So I think he has a point. What do you guys think?
I agree with the no eye contact and just kind of being like, you know, in your own world. The phone, I don't know, it depends. I don't even know, why is your phone on the table, first of all. And second, everybody knows what this is code is for, right? When you have your phone on, you know, you shouldn't put your phone on the face. So if you have your phone on the face, you don't want people to pop up, right? And that's why you turn, that's what the code is. Let's keep it real, right? So if it's on the table, I'm already like, okay, whatever. You put your table. I mean, you put the phone on the table when you're at a table, whatever. But turning it over says something else. To me, it gives another message. So that would be a red flag for me. Like, yeah, I don't know what picture's gonna pop up. You know what I mean? That would be a red flag for me.
Okay, so yeah, we right there. I muted you just because it was a little bit of feedback. OG Patrice, did you want to jump in on any of those?
Yeah, I absolutely have to agree again with Jen. It's just so funny because I had recently went on a date with a guy, and he did that with his phone. He had his phone turned flat down on his, and I don't really pay it as much attention the first time I date someone, like the first date, because I understand if, you know, you're probably talking to other people, you probably, you know, whatever. I'm cool with that, but don't come on the date with me and literally turn your phone face down, but still every time it pings or whatever, you still like turning it over, looking, turning it back down, it pings, you know, like that. Like, come on, dude. Like, you know, to me, you're not being attentive to me right now in this time and in this moment. And it's the same way with the no eye contact. You know, if you're not looking at me in the eyes, especially when we are talking about getting to know each other, serious things like where you're from, your family, you know, what you do, that type of thing. Like, I want to look in your eyes and see you when you're talking to me and telling me those things, and as I'm looking into your eyes. So if your attention is everywhere but where it should be, which is in the moment with me, in the conversation, in this me, in this date or whatever we doing. Like, nah, those are red flags. And I'm yeah, like, no, you don't get a second date with me. Not at all.
So it's interesting. Those particular ones might go flip both ways, then, right?
Yes.
No, those particular that he brought up could be for the ladies, could be for the fellas.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. So we brought him up. Let's see what one of the ladies has to say about the turnoffs. To see if you guys wanna co-sign.
What is something that turns you off by looking at someone's profile? I'm gonna go first for the fellas. Work on your bio. Proofread that shit. Let's get some complete sentences, please. Number 2.
I'm gonna stop there. What we think about that on the bio? We're talking about matching dating profiles.
Oh, okay. I've never been on a dating app, so I don't know what goes on in the bios or whatever.
Oh.
But I do look at grammar. If you don't know the difference between your and you are, that is a turnoff. Once or twice a typo, cool. But then if we're morphing into you don't know the difference between there, and they are, yeah.
Oh, so
I agree
got the grammar police.
Yes.
We got a grammar cop in here.
No, a grammar captain.
That's what's up, Patrice.
I gotta agree. If you don't know the difference between THERE and THEIR, like, if you and incomplete sentence and run-on sentence, like, I'm sorry, I'm kind of a stickler for that.
All right, so fellas, and this might be something for those watching this later. You come on, if you want to take you seriously, then you're gonna have to pay attention to your grammar, either on the profile or in text or whenever, just in written form. Make sure you pay attention, because.
And don't get me wrong, like typos, I understand, because I have done a typo, but I always go back and put an asterisk with the correct spelling or the correct, word I'm trying to use if I do a typo. So I get it, because I understand sometimes you're on the move sometimes. And I understand men have fatter fingers than women, so they can tend to type in the wrong letter or whatever. And I could be okay. I know what he meant to say right there, so I'm cool. It's not like he literally using the incorrect word in there. So yeah.
I hate that. I think we all do when autocorrect comes in and just changes up the whole thing, and we actually type the right word, and autocorrect will come in and change it on you.
Yeah, so I'm cool with typos. I tell people all the time when they correct, I'm like, I read typo. It's okay. Like, you can tell when something was a typo. So I'm like, that's fine.
Okay.
But the grammar, man,
I see you lose points if you get that grammar wrong all the time.
Like, do you know what a comma is? Can we have a comma in here somewhere? I'll give it to you.
But you know what I noticed by being on the dating apps? Oh my God, this is like when the guys say in his profile, I'm looking for, he'll say, I'm looking for a beautiful woman. He don't say I'm looking for a beautiful woman. He say, I'm looking for a beautiful woman. What?
Right.
White flag.
Like, that women is plural, woman is singular, but he'd say, I'm looking for a beautiful woman. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Hey, I can't even. I'll keep going.
Pull your pants up. I don't want to see your ass, sir. Number 3.
All right. And we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it, because some of these seem to be pretty obvious. I don't know if a lot of ladies, especially mature ladies, appreciate that. So you co-sign on that, both of you?
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what age demographic she's dating in, but I'm like, I don't.
Right.
I think she just means in general, because I'm gonna be honest. Again, I'm on the dating sites, and I can't believe that I see men in their 40s and 50s with sagging pants on.
Wow.
Seriously.
I digress.
Hacks cocked to the side and to the back, and for the life of me, they don't know how to dress. They are all in sporting wear all the time. Like, you don't see them in a nice pair of dress slacks with a dress shirt, or even a a khakis with a polo shirt, like they in all. I said, literally, if I see someone in a jersey and sports, like through every 7 pictures you have on here, you're not showing me no variety. Like, come on, dude. Like,
Wow. Okay. And that's actually pretty good insight again for the fellas. They, if you think that you just kind of want to be normal and that's kind of your normal thing, no, the ladies want to see you kind of dressed up and looking sharp.
Very
yeah, let me see some versatility there. Let me see that, okay, you can dress down, but let me see you can dress casual, and let me see you can dress up.
Hmm. Okay, I feel that. I feel that. Let's see what else she's got.
Why is every picture you post, you got your middle finger up? Like, fuck the world. Like, I don't have time for the negative energy. You're just so negative. Like, why? Number.
Okay, is that? Do you see that a lot?
Now that I don't see.
Okay.
Maybe on like Facebook or Instagram, I've seen a couple do that, but these are younger guys. So I just I'm not into the younger guys anyway, like that 30s, 20s.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I don't see that even on the dating sites. God forbid. Oh, geez.
Huh.
That's a huge turn off for me. Like, I hate that pose. Like, it's like, okay, what are you so mad at? You know what I mean? Like fuck what? Like, you pissed in your Cheerios. Like,
oh my gosh.
What is it?
So quick question. How about, have you ever actually been out on, say, a first date with someone who, for whatever reason, there's a difference, I think, of course, between masculine energy and just flat out negative energy. Have you ever seen that in person where you with someone, you're like, whoa, I'm just not even, it's his very energy is turning me off because it's coming off as negative as opposed to something else?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you can tell, and it's like, I guess they're bringing their negative energy from their negative experiences they've had from dates, and they bringing it to you. So it's like, no, we're not doing that.
I think that's a great question, Frank, because I think men confuse brute force with masculinity, right? You can have a man who never curses or slams doors or, you know what I mean, raises his voice, and he'd be extremely masculine, right? But I think that sometimes guys grow up and, they're being taught and raised by people that know you have to throw women around and demand things and conquer, and you know what I mean? So I'm like, that's not necessarily masculine to me automatically. You could be masculine, you could be the strong, silent type.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree.
All right, so look, so far she's got some good ones. Let's see the next one.
4, I think that's the number I'm on. But number 4, why every picture you in front of your car, just posing, you in front of the car, in front of the car, in front of your car? I don't care about that car. What are your goals? What is your career? Who inspires you? What are your hobbies and interests? Because, honey, I'm not inspired by that car. I have a car too. I don't care about your vehicle, sir. But
okay.
Oh my God. Oh my
God. Is this common? Tell me about it.
Oh my God. Listen, I'm on dating sites. That is so common. Listen, they either in front of their car, they either in front of their house, they either on pictures with all their pets, like I'm trying to date their pets, or they on there with all their kids, like I'm trying to know who your kids are right now. Big turnoffs.
Mm-hmm. You know what? Go ahead.
Big turnoffs.
Okay. Humongous turnoff. Humongous red flag. And some men may get mad at me, and that's okay because I breathe and y'all get mad. But it's a huge turnoff because what it says to me automatically is you're not confident in yourself to stand there without any material items, without any extras. That's a big turnoff to me. I spoke about this recently. People posing with their Gucci bags and their Gucci sneakers. I'm at the airport, I'm traveling, and they got to show it's a picture of their Gucci sneakers and their Gucci luggage. Like, to me, it's a red flag where it's like, okay, who are you when you're stripped naked without this car, without this luggage, without that Gucci belt? Who are you? And that's what I'm interested in. So if you're not even presenting that to me, you're presenting the Italian and French designers up front, and that's like your ID. I'm like, no, red flag to me. No, thank you.
You know what? I've seen the female profiles with the pets too, and I would say that's a turn off. It's just like, every picture. Some pictures is only the dog, or only the cat.
Exactly. Yes.
You see that? You see that on
Yes. Like, I'm
the
trying to date your dog. Like, no. And
But
and
isn't
like I
that
said, even on dating sites, I don't think you should post your kids on dating sites. I just don't.
Mm.
You're trying to meet another adult. It's okay to say maybe in your profile if you have a kid or something if you want, but I just don't. I'm not trying to look at you and your kid right now, dude. I'm trying to like maybe get to know you first. How about that? But yeah,
How often do you
that's
see
all
that?
I see. The pets and the kids and the cars.
Just quick question. How often do you see the kids in the picture with the dudes?
Oh my God, all the time. A lot, Frank. A lot.
Wow.
Literally, a lot.
Do you think the thinking
Yeah.
is maybe the thinking is, hey, they want to be with their kids. They want you to see that they have a family and they're with their kids. And so maybe they're thinking that's the psychology of it, but they're just off on it.
that's what
I
I was
think
thinking
they're
about
all,
the dog.
yeah, maybe they wanting you to think that they are a good father or that they in their kids like but you can say that you're on a dating site to meet another adult.
Mm.
Why would you bring your kids into that picture right now for strangers just looking at pictures with you and your kids? To me, it doesn't psychologically make any sense. My pictures are me. You're going to see me face. You're going to see me waist. You're going to see me full. You're going to see me casual. You're going to see me dressed up. You know what I'm saying? And maybe doing some type of favorite activity or something, but that's it. Like, you're not going to see pets. You're not going to see me and my son. You're not going to see that. I'm on a dating site, for crying out loud. I'm trying to get to know the man first. All of that can come later because I'm
Jen,
not looking to meet your kid right now. I'm sorry. I'm not.
right,
Don't mean to
right.
sound harsh, but I'm not trying to meet your pet either.
Jen, did you have something on that?
I'd say that I agree with that. It's an adult dating site. It's not like unless that's a great point. Maybe somebody should start a me and my family dating site, and then you guys can share, pets and kids and things like that. But I was thinking with
That's a good idea. I don't know if it's too many me and my family dating sites. You better patent that and throw that up quick.
right, it is. So I was thinking that people do it with animals because I know animal people like date animal people. They want to know that you like dogs or cats, and they ask you're a cat or dog. Are you a cat or dog person? So I was thinking they probably throw their animals in there to show like, hey, I'm pet friendly. I'm a pet friendly person because I'm not a pet friendly person. So I'm not. I would want to know if someone has 2 pit bulls, right? I'm not going to your
Jen,
house.
that part. Like, I can accept a look because I owned the Pekingese, so little small lap dogs. I'm cool with that, but I'm not. When they say must love animals, and then you got 2 dogs, 2 cats, 2 birds, 2 this, 2 like and I've seen that. So I totally just keep flipping when they say must love pets because I already know you
They over the top
farm
with it.
probably full of
I see.
animals,
Yes.
and I'm not just that type of person. Oh my
Right.
God. Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm not really a pet person. I'm not a big pet person. Unless you have something cute and small, I'm not. I don't care about your pets. No.
All right. This
Neither am I. And honestly, I at this point in my life, I don't even want to date a guy that has small kids. At my age, I'm an empty nester. I'm kind of looking for the same thing in a man. Kids grown out the house. At my age, I'm not trying to date a guy that's still paying child support and he's 56, 57 years old, 60. Like, what the crap are we doing here? You know what I mean? You got 18 more years that you got to pay child support. I'm looking for someone that's kind of on the same as I am. And don't get me wrong, I love kids. I love my grandchildren, but I love the fact that I can send them back home to their parents.
Mm-hmm.
I'm there. I just think it's the phase of life that you're in. The only way I would date a man who has tiny children, he would have to be wealthy because child support interferes with relationship. It interferes. You're not going on as many vacations. You're not, you can't get this car or that car. You can't go shopping this way because child support is a huge chunk of a man's income. And I don't want to be at this age, I don't want to be held back from doing the adventurous things I want to do, because it's like, oh, you
Yes.
got to pay $3,000 in child support this month, so we can't go to Hawaii. You know,
Yes.
I want to do
Yes. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
I'm gonna hold off. This is gonna bring up a turn off later, but I'm gonna wait.
He
Let's see.
gotta have a nanny. He gotta have a nanny. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. And I love children too. I'm all about the babies, but
we get. Yeah, we kind of,
expensive.
because we know you love your grandbaby. We know you love the babies.
I love babies. I love babies.
Yeah,
All right,
I
let me,
do.
let me play this one, and then I'm gonna take her off. Let's see.
For real. Those are some things that turn me off. What about y'all?
Oh, I thought I was had her up this whole time thinking it was gonna be
Oh,
one
she
more.
done, huh?
Yeah, she
done,
ended off with a good one. Okay, so at this point, now we can make it a little personal, and I think I'm gonna make it so that each one of us can give one turnoff that we, instead of responding, one that we know we have ringing that hasn't been talked about yet. Name a turnoff that you personally have and want to talk about. We each will do it. Remember, those in the panel, if you guys want to jump in, this is in the chat. Those in the chat, if you just want to jump in, this is an open panel. We can just kind of get together and talk about our turnoffs, because we all have them and we all do them. So go ahead.
Again, disclaimer: if you're here late, these are personal opinions. It doesn't mean you and I will ever date, and you have to hate me for it. We will log off and go do our laundry and run our errands. So I would say, and don't feel bad just because it's my turn off. You may find a woman that'll praise you for what my turn off is. That's how beautiful
There you
life
go.
is.
That part.
Okay.
Whichever one you want to lead,
I would say multiple baby mamas is a huge turn off for me. Multiple baby mamas, huge turn off, ginormous.
Okay, and that one seems we don't have to break that down, right? It's multiple baby mamas mean multiple baby mama drama.
Yes.
Yes.
And multiple child support checks.
Yes, so he paying out all and don't have anything to take you out with, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And just his attention is going to be so, you got 3 women who have demands, rightfully so, because they're the mothers of your children. I just don't want to be involved in that. That's all. I don't want to be a part of it.
That part.
That's reasonable sense to me. These are reasonable and sensible. These aren't so far controversial.
I have one that's not going to be reasonable to the men.
All right, we're gonna get around to it. All right, OG Patrice.
Okay, seeing that Jen stole my answer, I'm gonna go to one of my main next ones. Absolutely deal breaker for me is a smoker.
And we can see that. What about vaping?
No, I can't, because they're gonna vape forever. I did that with my ex that stopped smoking, and he vaped forever, like what seems like forever. And I was just like, okay, you got to let it go. I thought the vape is like a weaning process, you know what I mean? And I was proud that he stopped smoking, but the vaping continued on and on and on. And it's like, no, you don't go from one addiction to another. It's like you're trying to wean yourself off of the smoking thing, and but the vaping didn't stop. And the smoking part, I was really proud of him, because he did it basically cold turkey with the cigarettes, and then he started about a month later like vaping, and he still vapes right to this day. And we've been separated 7 years now, and he's still vaping. Like, come on, dude. Like, I'm sorry,
wow.
you still depended on that. And for the smoking, for me, your breath stinks, your hair stinks, your skin stinks, your clothes stinks, the house stinks, the car stinks, everything stinks with smoking. I can't do it.
And that's one. Thanks for bringing that part up too with the ladies. It's the whole sense of smell thing. If the ladies like the fellas to smell good, right? And there seems to be this whole thing with, if it's a date, you want to smell good in terms of wearing cologne, but not just that. It don't stop at I'm seeing the candles, all over the place. The scented candles is a thing with the ladies. Is that all kind of tie into just wanting something, whatever it is, to smell good and not smell bad?
Yes, it's deep.
Yes.
It's even deeper than that. I'm with Patrice. I have a passionate disdain for smokers. Passionate. Sometimes people are like, you're unreasonable. Like if you're related to me, my friend or whatever, you will smoke outside, and
Yep.
I don't want you anywhere near me. And the thing is that they don't realize how much they stink. Like I'm like,
Yes.
when my one of my relatives brought over her baby one day, and I'm caring for the baby, and I opened the baby bag. Inside the
Yep.
baby bag,
Smell like cigarettes. Yeah. Ugh.
everything is just such. It's in your hair. It is in your semen. It is in your sweat. It is in your spit. So I really don't
Yep.
understand how a non-smoker can date a smoker. It is
Mm-hmm.
disgusting. Trust and believe,
Mm-hmm.
it's everywhere. It comes out of everything, and it's a smell you can't get rid of. It's like, you want to annoy me on New York City. I would come home from work 5 o'clock, and if I sat next to a smoker, I would get up and walk,
Yes.
because I don't even want to sit next to you. It's going to be on me. I feel like you're poisoning my lungs with your misery and your habit. I'm telling you, it's unreasonable, I know, but I don't even want you near me. I don't even like the personality or the mentality of someone who smokes cigarettes, right? Because
Yep.
you know,
Exactly.
with a conscience, this is killing you. And if you're putting it to your lungs, it tells me you don't give a damn about yourself. And how can you really give a damn about me all the way? I will not do it. I cannot do it.
Listen, yeah, listen. That is a good question that Adrian has up there. And I
Yeah.
and let me tell you, I would rather, if I was dating a man that was an auto mechanic and he came home every day smelling like oil, I would deal with that more than I would deal with him being a smoker. I promise you. Like I could smell oil or gas. I can deal with that better than I
Probably
could with the smoke.
he can come home and I'm assuming just take a shower or clean
Of
up
course,
or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, but I mean, I know he's generally, when he comes home, he's smelling like oil, he's smelling like gas or something, because he works on cars. I'm
Right.
just saying, I could deal with that smell better than I could deal with the smoking. But naturally, I want to smell, like whatever soap you're using on your skin,
Mhm.
whatever cologne you're using,
Mhm.
the natural smell and scent of a man, even when you don't have on cologne. Just say if you fresh out of the shower,
Mhm.
whatever man's products you use, I love smelling that naturally on
Mhm.
my man,
Mhm.
So
I even
yeah,
prefer. I gotta agree with the ladies on that. I prefer a man who's healthy, like his smell. Even I prefer that over him wearing cologne.
Mhm.
mm,
There's nothing like the sweat of a healthy man who eats right and
yes,
takes care of his body. It's like that's a whole different, you know what I mean, smell. I prefer that over, oh, I got the Gucci on. Yeah, but what else do you do? Like,
Right.
mm,
what else do you
mm,
eat? You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Right.
mm,
everything about him, again, his bodily fluids, you know what I mean? His
mm.
fire, everything is just going to be amazing. And I'm keeping it PG-13.
Thank you, Jen. I know. That's why I
I'm
started
keeping it
laughing.
PG-13 because if we were hanging out somewhere, I'd be like, listen,
Right.
But yeah, his natural way of smelling is
Yes,
amazing. Men don't realize that. I used to love the
yes,
smell of like just vitamins. A man that works out and just vitamins and just a healthy man. I think men are automatically like, I got to get that Calvin Klein or that Tom Ford cologne. Take care of your body, eat right,
right.
be okay. Take a shower. I'm good with the Axe. Take your little Axe shower. Come out the shower. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes, it's actually sexy. Actually, it really is like actually sexy, like an aphrodisiac, like a turn on for a woman.
yeah.
Adrian, shout out to Adrian. She co-signing right here with y'all.
Pay
Meaning
attention,
that
Pay
I'm,
attention.
I'm tripping on
Take
this.
notes.
Right. Okay. All right. So I said I would go too. So for me, a turn off sometimes is comes in the form of 4 words, actually. 4 words. And if
Oh,
I
wow.
ask this question, you guys will probably answer or can easily answer using these 4 words. And when I hear them, if I ever hear them, I'm like, oh, we done.
4 words. What is
Yeah.
it? How much
So
did you make?
I'm gonna give you the question, and then I'm gonna see if you guys can give me the answer. So the question, let's say we're on, first or second date, and I ask, what do you bring to the table? What can I get that will, in 4 words, that will turn me off?
You said after how many dates, Frank?
First or second date, maybe the
First
second
or
date.
second date.
Yeah, and I say, what do you bring to the table? And she replies with, anybody in the chat?
4 words?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and tell you.
Well,
Okay.
If I get, I am the table.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that.
I see it. It looks like,
Oh wow, that was first on my mind.
I am really glad that it stumped y'all, because that's out there. That is out there.
Wow. No. Wow.
Yeah, Friendsgiving. There you go. Look like Friendsgiving had it before I said it. I am the table. Unless Friendsgiving is telling me that she is. So let me clarify, because maybe some women feel like they actually are. And if you give me that, I'm gonna play around here. I'm gonna go ahead and put myself on the bottom.
Oh my.
Yeah, but I gotta object. We are still on objections.
Yes.
I gotta object. I think the question is dumb as the answer.
Well, it depends. Like I said, and really that might be something that is not necessarily for a first or second date. So I just wanted to get that in there, like really whenever I hear that. But yeah, I don't know if the question is a bad question if you're really seriously contemplating, hooking up with somebody, and you're having this conversation of, okay, well, what is it that, and you really don't know. Let's kind of take stock. Let's take stock. What are you bringing to the table?
I just think it's not what you say, it's how you say it, because you have to know, what a person's finances are, their status with their exes, do they love their mama, you have to know that. But when you ask that question, what do you bring to the table, it's sort of it's detached, it's abrupt, it's like, am I at a job interview? That would be a turn off.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like you're interviewing me, like maybe after the second interview or something, the job interview or something.
What do you bring to the table deserves I am the table. They sound equally yoked to me, the question and the answer.
Guess what? We're bringing Adrian in, and it's about to be 3-1.
Jumped.
Where's the guys at? Where are you guys? Hey, what's up?
I know they leaving me by myself. Listen, fellas, they've told me I can't even ask that question. That's an interview question. That's a turn off just asking that question. And I can see that. I'm not gonna push back on that one. That was
I still, with the fellas, I recommend that you do find out where she is mentally and emotionally and financially. I just don't ask it like that, because I would be like, I would be into you, and then you ask that, and I'm like, I'm taking my 100 back. Like,
yeah, I mean, thank God I've never been asked that, but I don't think I would even answer that even on the first or second date. Like, that's not enough.
That's out there. Like, I've never done that.
That's a bit much for me.
But just hearing, like, if I just hear that, I'm so averse to it. That's what I wanted to bring up.
And I wouldn't even ask a guy that. Like, I wouldn't. No.
Mm-hmm. So we brought Adrian up.
Adrian,
you can question.
Do people really ask that question? What do you bring to the table?
I mean, so listen, I have asked that later on, like well into it. Let's take stock, of the situation.
But do you ask it like that, Frank? Do you literally say it like that? What do you bring to the table? Like, do you say it in another way?
No, it's kind of like that. Yeah, it's actually kind of like that. Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually asked it kind of like that, and it was never in a situation where it's all serious and it's like, okay, this is what I bring to the table and this is what you bring to the table, and but yeah, in the flow of the conversation, yeah, pretty much like that.
Okay, now let me ask you this: when you ask that, what do you mean by, what are you looking for the answer to be when you ask a woman, what does she bring to the table? What are you looking for the answer to be?
Help me
So
out.
for
Yes.
me, yeah. So I'm not asking. Thanks for asking. It's a good question. So I'm not looking for a specific answer. What I'm looking for is an answer that reflects some type of introspection about how the relationship can work, whatever it is. I'm not looking for a specific answer, but it's more like, let's, and really, just to be fair, I asked this when I was like really like I've gotten to know the person and I really like them and I'm really really considering some things, and I want to have kind of a conversation where it's like, okay, let's see if this, let's have general talks about the reality of the situation and if it can actually work here. Let's kind of just talk some things out. So then it's a matter of, okay, this is, kind of who I am. This is what um, I quote unquote bring to the table. And so, what are some of the things that you see? So it's more like just I'm asking the question more of, I'm looking for introspection. I'm looking to see whether or not you are acknowledging certain things that I'm bringing, and then and we can talk about things that you bring, so that we can somehow have more of an understanding of whether or not we can work together as a unit. Is that a little bit too INTJ of me? Because
Yes.
and we're gonna have this conversation a little bit later about the Myers-Briggs. I'm an INTJ, and we we like to break stuff down, and we like to
No,
think.
no, yeah, no, I get it.
have an
I
answer.
get it.
So yeah, Patrice
I
or Jen or Adrian, yeah, go ahead.
can y'all hear me? It's Adrian.
Yeah,
Yes.
now,
Okay. So I have an answer to that. What do you bring to the table?
right? Okay.
And my answer is this. I have this life insurance needs analysis in my purse. Fill this out and let's figure it out.
Like, no,
I don't
not the
know.
life.
I,
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
don't know if y'all know what I'm talking about. So I had a conversation with the Pocket Watcher on the Lead Attorneys channel on Father's Day. Did you all see that? Did you see that, Frank?
I feel like I did. This was a while back. This was like weeks ago, right?
Father's Day. It was on Father's Day.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I was talking to the Pocket Watcher, JT the Pocket Watcher, about how a life insurance needs analysis can be used to evaluate the value of a human being.
Mm-hmm.
So okay, Frank, what do
That's a
I bring
big.
to the table? Let's do this life insurance needs analysis. We can figure out all my skill sets. We can figure out all your skill sets. We can figure out what we are bringing to the table, and we can figure out each other's value empirically. Let's figure it out.
Like real talk, legit. I would be interested in that conversation for me as an INTJ. Like, and it would be an unusual conversation in a dating situation. But this is, if you're like, if you're thinking about becoming serious with somebody,
Of
then
course.
yeah, the INTJ side of me is all in on that one. Jen's kind of got a confused look on her face.
Well, so
It's not
here's the thing.
confusion. It's not
Okay,
confusion. I'm just a little taken aback. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? But I know now the New World Order. It's like, we're living in the phase of humanity where Kevin Samuel's logic rules. So it's like, what are you? I'm bringing 50%. You're bringing 40%. What's your worth? You rate from 1 to 10.
and so actually though, Jan, that was rather my point in bringing it up on the Lead Attorneys channel with JT. So Jen, I'm not sure if you're aware, but JT and I have the same type of training to sit for the same type of credential, right? And so, you know, when I hear this, what do you bring to the table? To me, it's very aggravating because the inference is, I think, when most men say that, they tend to want to devalue women, right? Like
Mm.
because a woman's work and worth has no value. But from a life insurance needs perspective, as I was discussing with JT on this panel, when you look at a husband and a wife and the value of a husband and a wife, typically what I've seen is that for all of the things that wives do, wives have more economic value from a life insurance needs perspective. And I don't think that that is widely known.
So it's definitely worth bringing. Can you guys hear me?
Time for the.
This is good stuff though, because see, here's the thing: when people ask that question, they tend to, like right now, bring to the table, we're automatically talking about, either financial, or we're using words like that somehow relate to the financial side. But that question is wide open. It doesn't lead us necessarily to talk about, well, okay, like if there's some sort of financial aspect, or this is how much you make, this is how much I make, and we're putting that to the table. It's everything, like everything, all the qualities
Absolutely.
has, and that's probably what you're talking about when you
Absolutely.
refer
It's
to
all of it.
right. So it requires, when you bring in things that the typical, and so why don't you tell us a couple things that typically we don't think about but would be on the this analysis that you're referring to, that have
So
value.
so specifically, JT and I did a certified financial planners program. And so for our program, we had to do like a case study, right? And so and these people are fictitious, right? And you can see like all of their assets, all of their liabilities, all of their footnotes, their income, like you can see all of their financials on paper.
Mm-hmm.
And so in the case study, or if you're a financial planner, you're dealing with a client, you're going to be able to see like all of these clients, all of this information for the client. So typically,
right. Go ahead, because I don't want you to break down the whole.
No, it's okay. So typically, well, I don't know if that's actually true. A lot of times, men out earn women.
Right, just from the financial side, right?
Right. A lot of times, men out earn women. I'm generalizing, but when you look at, okay, I'm going to be more specific. I have a family member. She is currently married to a medical doctor. He has a private practice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She is a university board secretary for a university where she lives.
Okay.
So
go ahead.
Okay. So medical doctor, high administrator at the university. The medical doctor out earns his wife. Now, the medical doctor is an entrepreneur. He has a private medical practice. So he is not, how can I say?
Adrian, I'm just trying to get you to name a couple things that would have value.
Okay, so I'm amping up to that. I'm amping up to that. So in this scenario, his medical insurance, his dental insurance, and all of these things are covered through his wife. He doesn't cover those things because it's too expensive as an entrepreneur.
Okay, so
the value of that is huge.
Right, big time.
The value of that is astronomical. I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So that would be an example that she brings that value. So if we're gonna sit down and get black and white with it, the way an INTJ would, like me, would be like, hey, this is huge. This is what you're bringing to the unit, and now,
right.
That's a big deal.
And then there's the quasi traditional gender role situation. They have a child together, so and she's very much an academic. Well, we just came out of a situation where, children weren't going to school. So, their child is not falling behind educationally because of everything that she's brought to the table academically. That
Yeah,
has huge economic value.
exactly. And to me, and I'll just stop you with those two, but to me, that's what I'm
Mhm.
talking about. So that they absolutely should be something that's on the conversation. Like if you're getting serious with somebody, it's not like these things should be somehow overlooked or not, talked about. Hey, let's chop it up. Let's see what we kind of bring, and we talk about these things, and we, see whether or not it just kind of take a look and assess together how we are contributing to the unit. But for me, if I get the I am the table type response, then I'm not gonna I'm not gonna look too favorably on that, because you're telling me that.
But can somebody explain to me what that means? I am the table. I don't understand that.
Yeah, a lot of times
I don't even know what you bring to the table means early on. I think that, what you just said, Frank, like, yeah, we have to assess what you got going on, what I got going. It's different than saying, what do you bring to the table? Because
right.
I would be like, who the fuck do you think you are? What do you? How big is your penis? How much do you make annually? How many baby mamas do you have? You know what I mean? And I think it puts people on the defensive. Like it's like, and it automatically, I know you can say, well, I just want to know if she'd be a good mother, if she cooks, but it automatically, the way men phrase it sounds like, financially, what do you bring to the table? Right? When you say it in the boardroom, what do you bring that's going to help me make more money? It doesn't sound like a merger to me. It sounds like, how is me knowing you going to benefit me? So I don't think that's a question that you could ever ask that it's going to go down smooth. You know what I mean? I would be turned off. I think, what do you bring to the table really does deserve I am the table, because neither makes sense when they're presented.
Ellie, I need to bring you up. You see this right here? Ellie says, I'm an INTJ as well, and I get the logic. I need to get Ellie, type in, they want to get, well, at least Jen. Jen is objecting. I don't know about the others. Yeah.
I'm objecting to the question, not the need for the question.
Right.
Because you have to know what somebody's values and morals and finances are, and how they rear children and X, Y, and Z. That you have to know that. But I think that comes later on. Right at the beginning, when you're dating, what do you bring to the table?
Right. Yeah,
here's $20 for my meal, because we're in a regular restaurant. Here's $20 for my meal. Have a great night.
Yeah, I agree with Jen. I really do.
Friendsgiving is with you too, right? It's a non-specific question. Use to pick apart whatever answer that's given. I guess it could be. Absolutely. Okay, so that was mine, and so now we can get back. That was a nice diverging there, a nice digressing into a very interesting part of the dating scene. So this is what we'll do. I'll just maybe play one more here, and let's get everybody. Now that we have a panel of 4, we can get everybody's point of view on this one. And I think this is a pretty interesting one. And let's see what we got to say on this one.
Behavior is the #1 thing which turns us off. We are instantly repelled by guys who try too hard to impress us. And there are 2 main reasons for that. First, because it shows that you don't really feel worthy of us. In other words, you lack confidence and self-esteem. And secondly, most girls are tired of being treated this way. If a girl is attractive, she has dozens of guys around her who try to please her all the time. She has dozens of guys sending her flowers, telling her how beautiful she is, paying for her stuff, and just bending over backwards for her. Which means if yet another guy comes along doing that same old stuff, trying his best to impress her, she's just plain bored. And there's no chance that she'll feel attracted to that guy.
Interesting. So you heard her, what she had to say, and her line of reasoning on it. What you got?
Okay, that's how you end up with a narcissist. Okay, that's how you end up with a narcissist on your arm. She sounds idiotic because, yes, attractive women hear that all day from all, well, oh, you're pretty, you're just, let me get the door. Let me get the, you know what I mean? But when a woman is attracted to a man, she still wants that behavior from that man. I don't know what she's talking about or how many men fall over her, try to buy her coffee. But when a woman is attracted to a man, she still wants that behavior from that particular man. I don't think that, you want the guy that it's like, oh, I know, because this is a turn off for me. The guy that thinks because a lot of men do that, he's going to go the opposite way, right? Because then that's fake too. It's like, oh, you get told you're beautiful all the time. I don't have to tell her, and I don't have to, grab the door for her. And that's a turn off for me on the other side. So no, if I'm interested in you and I'm out on a date with you, I want you to treat me good. Right? I want you to be all on me and complimenting from you, because I'm on a date because I was interested in you. So that's not a turn off for me at all. So I object to what she was saying. I don't know. No.
Okay. OG Patrice.
I was just making short and sweet. I agree with Jen again.
Yeah,
I agree.
Like,
I mean, I'm finding that we're a lot alike in things. We just yeah. And Jen and I, we're older, we're seasoned, we're more mature. So yeah, we on the same page. Jen, I mean, I don't know if you're into zodiac signs, but I'm a Leo, so
I'm a Capricorn.
I don't agree with what
I'm a Leo too, just for the record.
Are you, Frank? Really?
Yeah.
Are you a July or an August Leo though?
July 30th, right on the line. Just about.
Are you right on the line? I'm on August 4th.
Okay.
One of my favorite people in the world, my oldest sister, she's a Leo, and that woman is like my life. Right? It's like my
See, that might be why we get along so well. We agree a lot.
And I also think, Patrice, their age is a factor, because a lot of these things that I heard today are like games, right?
Yes.
Not want to be treated well and be wined and dined and told she's beautiful when she's attracted to a man. So that other one was like, she just sounded like, what are you talking about? You're going to appreciate that maybe when you get older. I don't know how old you are, but maybe when you get older, you'll appreciate that. I wouldn't want a guy that's like acting the opposite of a gentleman just because, I hear I'm cute all day. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
Not
especially the one that you're interested in, that you really got your eye on. It's like, okay, this is like, I'm attracted to him. This is going somewhere. Like, yes, I want him to tell me I'm beautiful. Yes, I want him to still be a gentleman and exercise that chivalry to me. Absolutely.
Now, I will say this. I'll give the guys a tip. Because women are constantly being sought after and complimented, I'm getting free game, guys, free game. Even though I'm mad at y'all because y'all didn't come on the panel. But free game. We know that you're going to approach a woman and in your mind you're thinking, wow, I don't want to be redundant. Everybody's coming after her, telling her she's pretty. Come in with something else. Come in with humor. Ask her something abstract. Like, oh, I like some jeans, or what is that, navy blue or what? You know what I mean? Come in with something different. That you beautiful. You ask something different. I saw that you were standing in front of the Statue of Liberty. Can you still go all the way up to the head part? Can you know what I mean? Come in with something different. It's something abstract that's to get my attention, I would say. Because we do, in that aspect, we do hear, oh, you pretty, you beautiful, all the time. Say something else. I saw you drinking bubble tea. Are they still on 87th and 5th? Like, you know what I mean? Like that, I would say in that way, that do that.
Jen is dropping the pickup line game.
Free game, a little bit. A little bit. I'm gonna take it away later, but I'm gonna give you a little bit.
Yeah.
So let's do this then. And so we kind of went over, we just responded to one. Maybe we'll do another round of our own personal turnoffs, dating turnoffs. And so so we can keep it, we did the beginning. We can just do it at any point in a relationship, any point in a relationship, just a general turnoff, whatever it is. It could be the beginning, later. Yeah, just any turnoffs. What let's start with Patrice maybe on this one. And then I'll throw it to Jen, then I'll finish it off again.
Okay.
Any other turnoffs, Patrice?
For me, I think, especially being on the dating sites, guys their profiles don't seem to match their personality or the things that they say a lot about them that they like or they dislike or whatever. And I will see a profile and I like, and I know men don't read the profiles all the time. They like looking at the pictures. Men are more visual. I get it. But me reading what you wrote, if you put something in it, substance in it, and I'm reading it and I say, okay, he really cares about what he's saying. That means a lot to me. And I'll go out with you and a guy that says he's looking for a serious long-term relationship, blah, 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 which is what I'm looking for. And then I get there, meet him, greet him, we talking, everything's vibing good. And then he pulls oh, I only want to casually date. What the hell is that? Because to me, when you say you only want to casually date, that means you only want to casually date me and Jen and Darlene and Debbie and Susie. So like this, to me, that's not dating with the purpose of seeking a serious long-term relationship. So I think men, I don't know if they got that twisted or they just literally lead women on to thinking, well, maybe if I get her on board, she'll be okay with just casually dating her and dating other women. Because casually dating to me saying you want to date me and other women, period.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's just all they're thinking about is the goodies. And this kind of leads into what Adrian just posted. And then I'll segue straight to you, Jen. A turn off of mine is when a man is mean-spirited, withholding, and or insulting and still tries to get the goodies. Yeah, I would say that's a pretty big turnoff. And this is what we mentioned a little bit earlier when we were just talking about, how to put it, just mean-spirited or negative energy versus masculinity. Is it a negative energy type thing? And that happens from time to time.
I would say if I do like little light things, because we're going deep, right? We're talking about liars now, and people that are asking what you bring to the table, but just little light things like dirty fingernails, bad hygiene, being rude to people. I'm the type of person I'll talk to. I'll go into a long drawn out conversation from the person that mops the floor to the person that owns, the building. I like guys that are able to do that as well. I don't like guys that act like, oh, we can only be around these people, talk to these people. Men that are materialistic, huge turn off. Men that have slept with a lot of women, huge turn off, huge. And it's funny because men think that women aren't turned off about that as much as they're claim to be turned off about women who sleep with a lot of men. But trust me, I'm equally as turned off about men that have slept with a lot of women, because I'm like, so you don't give two damns about that penis. You'll throw it anywhere and anything. So that's a turn off to me.
And and I forgot. Sorry, I thought you were there. Go ahead.
No, just this, like at nighttime, like I have like 3 or 4 utensils to clean my teeth and my mouth. If I visit you and you only have a toothbrush, I'm gonna look at you a certain way.
So no floss.
Right, I'm looking at the toothbrush, the floss, the electric toothbrush. It's like, and if I just go see you and you just got a toothbrush and a cup.
Oh, trust me, Jen, it's a lot of them now. It's a lot of the only toothbrush and a cup.
Turn off.
Sorry.
Turn off.
And I forgot to mention this one. I cannot, pet peeve, turn off, major, huge, the touchy-feely guy. Too touchy-feely. I can't.
So define.
First time you meeting me, your hands all over me like that.
So is it? Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. Define touchy-feely for you. Is it just a light touch, or is it?
It's a constant the rubbing, the rubbing on the shoulder, or the one to rub on the leg, and the just constant your hands, in my face, and oh God, yeah, touchy-feely like that, like
full on the side.
It goes from sexy to creepy uncle.
Yeah, right? I'm uncomfortable. Like literally now, dude, you've made me uncomfortable. Keep your freaking hand off me, and this is a wrap. And I don't want to ever see you again.
Now in a relationship, I need the touchy feely, like
Yes.
and
Yes. Yes.
don't walk past me without touching me because I'm gonna be like, what happened? I'm standing.
Yep.
So
That
that's
part.
good. We got to we are clear on that. All right. So then there's a time where the comfort, the I guess the yes has been given or the comfort level has been established, and now that changes.
Right.
It goes from hey, to that becomes part of a love language, even maybe.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like give space. Like I don't, you know what I mean? You have to like want to touch and be touched. So in the beginning, like give me my space. Don't do that. Like we're out, to dinner. Black Rain said online dating is trash, bums trolling for sex. Yeah.
That's true a lot, but it's some good guys. It's a process. You have to weed through, go through the frogs to get to the Prince Charming. You can meet a guy in the grocery store, at church, or in a club, or in a social event, and he could be a bum. So I don't necessarily buy into that. I'm sorry, I don't.
Right. I agree. I agree with that as well. That's the INTJ side. It's like, listen, you can meet them anywhere. It's just a matter of to me, if anything, online dating makes it a little easier because at least you can vet. You're reading what they're saying. You can do a little bit of vetting, and then you just confirm by getting to know them. Right. So yeah, I'm cool with that too. All right. So for me, maybe it's a couple things you guys brought up. So one, if on an early date, first date, second date, and all I gotta listen to, number one, if I just gotta just sit and I don't get a chance to say anything, I'm just, oh my God, and there's no self-awareness that you're just talking and talking and talking, and see, with me, I don't let my thoughts a lot of times show on my face. So I would be, yeah, yeah. And then, 15, 20 minutes later of just straight monologue, it's like, yeah. And I'm like, you don't understand right now that not going to ask me a question, and, it's not going to be a two-way thing. That's a turn off.
I've heard many men say that.
Yes. Yeah. So that's one. I'll just stop it that way.
Agree. I can agree. I can agree with that. I've heard many, guys that are on the dating apps or that are dating that say that they go on that date with that woman and she is nonstop. And then I said, and I asked them back, and I'm going to ask you too, do you think it's more that they are chatterbox that you could see, or do you think that it's more nervousness in the woman?
I don't think it's nervous. I think it's, if I had to guess why, and I haven't given it a whole lot of thought, but the ladies in general, I guess, kind of like to, they like to express, they like to be heard, and maybe it's a situation where it's almost, they don't see it this way, but it's almost like, hey, I got a captive audience now. I'm gonna get here. I'm gonna talk. Anything that's on my mind, be right in front of me, and we finna let it go. I'm just gonna, I'm having fun. I just feel like they're just enjoying the company, especially if they are sitting across from someone who they feel like is actually listening to them, because I think that might be the flip side for the ladies of a turnoff, meaning, she's trying to communicate, but the dude's not even paying attention. They're watching the game, or they, do into their phones. So if they actually, I think that the ladies actually get one in front of them that's actually listening and active listening. Oh, it's on now.
Listening.
So I think that may be more of what it is. It just, they finally got one that's listening to them, so they're gonna let it all out.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm. Just have self-awareness, that's all I'm asking for on it. A little bit of self-awareness. So yeah, so that would be mine. Should we, and I don't want to push it too much longer because we all are kind of just having fun with it. I'm telling you, I got more that we can refer to. Also, I noticed that L was gonna call in. This is L or Ellie was gonna call in. She asked me to drop the link, but so far I don't see you in the back. What do you guys say? You think I should go play another one for us?
I'm cool with it.
All right, let's do this. This is one from a male. Let's see if And I believe this one is actually talking. This is a male, but he's kind of speaking for the ladies. So let's see if he's right.
Do you know something that will majorly lower a woman's attraction for you? If you have dated or hooked up with women that she knows that she finds much less attractive than her, that is a huge turnoff for women. Women want to think that they're getting a guy who's the prize, who's the catch, who dates high-value, attractive women. And if she sees all women that you've hooked up with that are not as attractive as her, that is immediately going to lower your value in her eyes. As much as women don't like competition, they still want to be with a guy that they know has options that other women actually desire. Do you know something?
Now that's an interesting take. Does this dude know what he's talking about right here?
I object. I object. I think that he's thinking with man brain. That's man
repeat that back, Frank, because I'm sorry.
I'll play it one more time. It was short. And notice here, welcome to the panel, L. Thanks for coming. Is this L or Ellie? L.
L.
There you go. Yeah, thanks for coming on up. Now we got another party right here. Again, chat, they gaining up on me here, I think.
I'm going to break that down. Play it again. I'm going to break down what he said. No.
All right, let's do it. All right.
Women don't like competition. They still want to be with a guy that they know has options that other women actually desire. Do you know something that will majorly lower a woman's attraction for you? If you have dated or hooked up with women that she knows that she finds much less attractive than her, that is a huge turnoff for women. Women want to think that they're getting a guy who's the prize, who's the catch, who dates high-value, attractive women. And if she sees all women that you've hooked up with that are not as attractive as her, that is immediately going to lower your value in her eyes.
All right. So break that down, Jen.
No, that's okay. He's confusing man ego and man brain with woman ego and woman brain, right? For instance, men, I notice a pattern amongst men where it's like, wait, this guy was with that woman, and then when he dropped that woman, this guy wanted that same woman, and she's very attractive. And then that guy, and then you notice like they rotate. It's like a rodeo where it's like, wow, I never thought that this guy would date this girl after this guy did, but it almost seemed like he was waiting for her, right? So men do that. Women, honestly, I feel better if I'm the most attractive woman that a man has dated because we're more vain, right? We're vain. We want to be like, and what do we say in the argument? Yeah, that little busted ex that you had. You know what I mean? It's like, we're vain. We have a different ego and a different brain, but it sounded to me like he was talking about men, not women. I don't see a man as more valuable if he's dated a slew of attractive women at all. I'm kind of like, okay, so I'm just whatever. I'm just another one. I think that's more man brain. I have to object.
I kind of see it different. Now, I don't look at it as far as looks. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't look at it as far as looks, but if I knew that a man had only dated women that were, I'll choose my words carefully.
This is objections. You have to be
careful. She tried this her first time. She making sure.
Yeah. I guess women that are I don't know. It's just not based on looks, but it's overall, you got to take in the good person, family, children, and all of that. All right, I'm going to give an example. If he's only dated people that have had 3 and 4 children by 3 and 4 different men, I kind of would look at that kind of off. But he's talking about looks, so I'm not a man, so looks isn't the same type of thing.
Right, and yeah, you're right. He is
it's
definitely
the quality of the person.
OG Patrice. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Elle.
If he was dating a bunch of low quality women, I would kind of look at that with a side eye.
Okay.
I love that point. I love that point. That is true. That is something that would grab my attention. Like, okay, you dated her, and that's your baby mother, and that would catch my attention.
Mm.
It would make me feel like, what am I doing here? Why?
Right.
You know what I mean? What am I doing here? Something wrong. I check myself.
Exactly. Maybe I don't got the full story here.
Somebody caught me slipping. And they have. People have caught me slipping.
But that's, I mean, so yeah, so it's definitely something to pay attention to then. You know, maybe the way he talked about it, that logic might not necessarily be sound completely from the woman's perspective, but it sounds like, hey, it's worth looking at, but from a different way than what he was talking about, right?
Right, because a man's not more attractive to me because he dated a bunch of attractive men, but my ego is bigger than most men I know, so just my experience. I'm like, I wouldn't be like, oh, he must be hot because he dated, a bunch of models. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I gotcha. Okay, so this is good. Food for thought. All right, so I have just one more. We can play it, we can respond, and then if we want, we can throw in some of our own maybe parting turnoffs before we head out. I feel like this has been just like we wanted, just a fun, laid back conversation as we go. So I'm gonna go ahead now and play.
You gotta finish it off with the fireworks. It gotta be a good one.
Let's hope. It's funny now. We're gonna see.
Here's some dating app profiles you absolutely need to skip on. This is part 2. Number 1, the guy who writes good vibes only in his dating profile. Now, what it actually means is that he's interested in sex, but no emotions, no feelings. Number 2.
All right, I'm gonna stop there because he's doing just a couple. Does that one make sense?
What did he say?
The guy who writes only good vibes only. Like, should you swipe left, skip it if that's what he's writing in his profile? Good vibes only.
Yeah, I would definitely keep swiping.
Okay. Elle, you want
That's
to say
not
anything?
enough substance for me.
Mm-hmm.
Vibes could be anything.
Just the way I perceived it, I perceived it as negative vibes, like, because I don't like a bunch of negativity. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I could be interpreting it wrong.
Mm-hmm. No, I think he's trying to let's see what his second one is. Let's see real quick.
His dating profile. Now, what it actually means is that he's interested in sex, but no emotions, no feelings. Number 2, people who decided to make a non-original food their entire personality. So when their entire dating profile has to do with how much they love pizza or how much they can't function without coffee or sushi or tacos. Just skip on those people. Number 3.
Okay. We talked a little bit about this one earlier. Does this one make any sense to you, Jennifer?
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's corny, and I see that
It
a lot.
is.
Not.
It is. Yes.
Like, repeat with the coffee thing. It's like, okay, you drink coffee. It's like, or you smoke cannabis. Like, that is your personality. It's like, okay, we get it. Like, what else? What about you? Do you read books? Have you gone to a museum? It's like, I'm the coffee guy. That's weird to me too. Kind of corny. I agree.
Yeah, I see a lot of the, must be 420 friendly. Okay. That's one of the things. Must love pets.
Smoke.
That means you must smoke weed. He wants someone that you don't mind them smoking, or you have to smoke too. Or either must love animals. That let me know you got a lot of pets and you want me to love your pets. Must like you said, must love pizza. Okay, I like pizza, but I'm not gonna put it in my profile. Like, that's something maybe for conversation later to say if we haven't talking about foods or what we like, when we on the date or something, or when we planning the date. Like, I don't have to know you like pizza right now, dude. Like, okay, whatever. Yeah.
Gotcha.
I agree.
Elle, you were going to say something earlier. You good?
No, I had a follow-up question because I just got back from Las Vegas with my sister, and we kept seeing that 420 reference. And we kept saying, what does that mean? Weed is legal in Vegas now. And it's like, we kept seeing
it's big that out here. It is big. Like, there's a new cannabis. 420 is It's April 20th, right? It's like National Weed Smoking Day or something.
Yeah, I
Is that
think that's
it?
it. I
Yeah, it's
think
like
that's it.
April 20th.
There you
Okay,
go.
So
So
I
I mean,
thought it might be the area code there. I don't know.
No, the area code is 702 for the most part in
Oh, that's
Vegas,
right.
but the 420 represents April 20th, which is the huge Canada's Day. They have celebration, they have parade, they have the concerts. It's really, really huge for all of the pot smokers. So when you see 420, that's what that means. And on the
Thank
profiles,
you.
the guys say 420 friendly. That means they want you to be a smoker or like the fact that they are a smoker.
right.
Got it.
And I've
Got
I've
it.
seen that on the flip side too, just to let you know.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, and that for me, that's a turn off for me. And just only because I've in fact I'm a goody. I've never smoked any weed or any, I've never tried it. Now with marijuana, I thought maybe if somehow I met someone who did, and I felt like it was cool. I'm in and it was in a legal state. Maybe I would sit down somewhere and do it just to do it and just see
You know
because
what?
that's the
I was
idea.
gonna ask you, not even when you were younger, Frank, you never like smoked?
No, I've never even smoked a cigarette. I've never
I
even had
haven't either.
Did
yeah,
you ever try weed at all?
no,
Not once. Did you put it
none,
in your mouth? Okay. You didn't.
no.
And
You
I
That's
didn't.
grew
why.
up in New
Did
Jersey.
you, Jen? Did you, Jen?
I tried it once, and I didn't like because whatever. What is what it is. I'm a very controlling person. I like to know what's going on at all times and being aware. And I tried it. I did not like having my body and my mind out of control.
Me too.
It
Wow.
wasn't
That
funny
was the
to
reason
me.
why.
Like my friends were laughing, and I was like, it was not funny to me. And I was trying to drink milk. I had my head in a pillow because I was like, how long is it going to take for my brain to come back?
What the well?
It scared me straight.
Yeah,
was
that
like,
was one of the reasons why I stopped smoking. Tried it a few times when I was younger. I tell you how long ago they used to call it reefer back then when I tried it. And same thing, it just made me eat a lot. I had the munchies and my eyes were red and I felt like I was watching myself outside my body, literally. And I was like, I like to be in control of my surroundings and what's going on around me. So I was like, nah, this ain't for me. So yeah, and that was it. That was, oh God, 30, 40 years ago.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
happened to me. I was like, oh yeah, everybody looks so chill when they do it. I was not chill. I was like, this has to stop. This has to stop. Where's my mother? Yeah, I was
You're
like,
a little paranoid. You're a little paranoid.
no, where's the funny stuff? People are like, oh, you smoke weed. Everything is funny. I'm like, no, I want this to stop. I want this out. I regretted it. And I just never did it again. Never
Now
did it
let me
again.
ask you a question, Frank.
Yeah.
Would you date a woman in a legal state where it's legal, date a woman that did it for medical purposes and she had the medical card? Would you date a woman like that?
That's a good question. I've never even thought. I haven't given that any. My instincts my instincts tell me no.
And I'm gonna give you. So I'm gonna give you an example. So if she was in Nevada,
right,
and she suffered from migraine headaches, and she did it for that reason,
right.
would you date her?
It's probably a whole lot of other stuff with it, but my instincts would be like no, and it's not because of there's no judgment, and I think that's kind of what maybe you're doing a little bit of, oh man, you smoke weed, what's the problem? No, even it's for me just I have never thought about it, and in general, for the same reasons maybe that Jen talked about, cigarette smokers, you smoking, there's a smell associated with it. There's a whole lot of other things. I think it's not just that. It's probably the rest of it. But like literally, you put me straight on the spot. I've never considered anything like that. It's illegal here in Florida. I believe. I think actually it may have just passed for limited medical use here. If you probably know about, if anybody knows about that here. But yeah, I've never even thought about it. And let me just say, like with me, it was I'm with Jen with what she's describing is what happened to me many years ago, I believe this was my junior year in college. I'd never drank alcohol before, and it was New Year's Eve. I just wanted to know what it would be like just to get drunk. So I was very clinical and experimental with it. I went over to somebody's house and on New Year's Eve and just deliberately I was drinking everything just because I wanted to know what it was like, and I didn't like it. I didn't throw up or anything. That night it was fun. I was laughing at everything, laughing at doorknobs, laughing at stuff that wasn't even funny. It was cool. But the next day I could not get sober, and so I was literally drunk the entire next day until about 6. And so I'm sitting here trying to cook, trying to, fry French fries and peel potatoes and stuff, and I'm still drunk. And so it was that part was inconvenient. So I was like, nope, not
Right.
doing it again. But I would do the same thing here with the marijuana thing. If it was somebody who was comfortable and knew what they were doing, and I was, cool with them, and I would sit down and I would do it just from the experimental side. Because Patrice, when you say it looked like you were looking at yourself from the outside in,
Mhm.
that's like, I would kind of want to see what's up with that. And we know it's
Really?
you
You got to come out here and get some gummies then.
see, there you go. Maybe gummies. Yeah, I don't
Or
necessarily
brownies or something, or
right.
cookies. They got it. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Maybe.
want to hear something interesting? Now, I grew up in New Jersey, and I'm about your age, Patrice. I've seen you a lot on the different people's things. When I was in the 5th grade, I had a male 5th grade teacher. I'll never forget him, Mr. Scribbins. And I tell you, we used to watch movies just about every other day on drugs and psychedelic drugs and all of that.
Mhm.
And I never even thought about touching a drug after that. And I'm telling you, everybody that was in my 5th grade class was the same way. And I think about it.
L, can you hear me? You lost in the matrix. L, you in and out. Can
Sounds
you
like
hear me?
she's underwater.
I think she's frozen now.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's frozen.
Okay.
Adrian. Adrian said 420 unfriendly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adrian ain't down. All right, go ahead, L. We lost you for a minute.
Similar to what Elle said, like she got that from like the movies that Mr. Scribbins was playing.
Mm-hmm.
But with me, it was my dad. My dad was like super duper anti drugs and drinking. We would be in the car and he would be pointing out drug addicts, and he just made them seem like the worst thing in the world. And that kind of scared me straight too, where I was kind of like, all right, I don't want any parts. Like he was super like, if he would know like, oh, I saw your sister talking to somebody, that guy smokes weed, and but like he was very adamant about no drug use, no liquor. So I'm like, okay, Dad.
Mm-hmm. Elle, we lost you a little bit, and it looked like you're back now. Can you repeat that last part of what you were saying?
No, I was just saying, everybody that was in my 5th grade class, they never touched any weed or anything, or when the crack era hit, everybody I knew that was in my classroom never touched it. So that had a huge impact.
Yeah, you guys were scared straight, as they call it. Scared straight.
Yeah.
Well, that was good, because that's what it was meant for, It was meant for that. The just say no.
Mm-hmm.
I never did anything harder than smoke reefer when I was younger. And I thank God. I have friends that started out with that and ended up on the harder stuff later in life. And that was tough to watch, because some people, they graduate to other things, right? So I had some friends that graduated to the heavier stuff that, that I grew up with and went to school with and stuff. So that part was really hard to see. So yeah, I just thank God that when I realized that something is not for me and it makes me feel, uncomfortable or weird, or, outside of myself. Like I
Mhm.
just, yeah, I want to be in control of what's going on around me and my surroundings and my awareness. And when I did try it, I just felt a little paranoid about it. Like I felt like I wasn't in control of it or something. Like I felt like I was in slow motion or
Mhm.
whatever. And I was outside my body watching it happen. And I was like, no, I don't like this feeling. I'm not going to do it anymore.
See, I would do the marijuana just for that, and maybe because I've heard that maybe it somehow amplifies or amps up the creative side. As a writer, as someone who's
Yes.
a creative, I hear that somehow there's something going on with that. So I might try it just for that reason alone. But again,
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard artists say that all the time. They be in the studio with their weed because it says it heightens their senses of our creative juices or whatever.
yeah.
So
So for me,
I hear your point in that, Frank. I can see that
yeah,
as a writer and a producer.
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, Snoop is the biggest, pothead we know, and he's been talking about hoes and bitches for like 30 years. He's never gotten more creative than that.
Listen, one time I was in the studio with the guy, the producer guy that I was dating at the time, and the studio was in Chicago, and he was doing a song with the rapper Twista. Everybody heard of Twista?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was in a studio. I had to leave because the whole studio
Mm.
was filled with marijuana smoke and nothing. Because he needed it to get in his creative, and I couldn't stand it, and I had to leave. I left because the whole freaking studio was just like lit up with
Wow.
smoke and the smell of marijuana. I was like, nah, I can't do this. I was getting a contact. I was like, I gotta go.
I hear you. I hear you.
I
Well,
was-
what's so cool about this panel is that it seems like, generally speaking, we are a drug-free panel for the most part.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. I love my wine, drinking my wine from time to time, dinner, or maybe after unwinding. I'm that girl. Every blue moon I'll drink a beer, or
Listen,
something if
wine will
I
get
hanging
me
out. But
tipsy.
wine
Like
gets you tipsy.
yeah, wine will get me tipsy. And so I've had friends who just wanted to give me too much wine just to see what I would do.
But
Yeah.
Well,
I just want
that's why they call it alcohol and spirits, because listen, the spirits, seriously, guys. No, I'm serious. Because I'm gonna tell you what wine does for me. And wine makes me a little bit more feeling of like sexy in myself as a woman. Like it makes me feel a little bit sexier. I'll just leave it at that.
Mhm, mhm. I want Elle to jump in. She's been real patient. You want to
No,
jump
I
in?
just wanted to say this is like my third time watching your show, Objection. I was telling Miss B Finesse on her channel a couple of weeks ago that I had really enjoyed it. And where's your 122nd clock? I guess you didn't
Yeah,
need it
the
because it was
clock, the
falling.
timer. Yeah, I threw the timer out for this one.
But I really enjoy your show. I do.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Yeah, we're winding down now. I'm actually letting everybody get their last ones in before I close up. But yeah, normally you're right. Normally we got the guest timer, and
We need the guest timer.
yeah, right. Don't say
The objections are going hard. And yeah, we wanted to take it easy today. It's Saturday, just kind of kick it, but we'll be back next week with the timer.
Yeah.
I just wish a male would have come up, so it could have been, so Frank could have had a little backup, and I would have loved to hear another male's perspective of their, do's and don'ts and pet peeves and stuff. It would have been kind of cool to hear, like, what the funk was in here earlier, but he wouldn't come up on the panel. He usually does.
Before the billions too, he was asking what exactly we were asking, to object to the turn off or to add to it, and then he kind of faded out. He was here too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we're gonna swing around either this one or Jen's at some point probably and talk about turn-ons and we're gonna
Okay,
keep
do I have permission, sir?
them PG as we do.
Patrice, I wanted to do turn-ons and turn-offs on this show. And he was like, no, I didn't reveal the
Oh
turn-ons.
yeah, you could have done it. We would have stayed PG. We wouldn't have got rated R or X.
We're gonna send him a bottle of wine, and then then we'll do the turn-ons.
No, I would have totally enjoyed that.
We might swing around to it. Elle, what you think?
I tell you, I had to jump in when y'all were talking about, I knew the answer was, I'll bring the table. But when she started talking about that life insurance analysis, me as an INTJ, if I asked, now I wouldn't ask you that, but if you had said that to me, I'd have been, whoa, let's hear it. It's the logic in it.
It really is. And that's
now,
all
what
it is.
What is the initials of an INTJ? I'm sorry. I really don't know.
It's 4 different parts of a personality profile by the Myers-Briggs, and the I, it's either I or E for extroverted or introverted. And then it's an N is for intuitive, but there's another one, I think it's censoring. Then the T is thinking versus feeling, and then the J is judging versus I forget what the flip side of J is.
Perceiving, maybe.
Perceiving, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Now, is this a test that you could take to find out if you're that?
Yes. And so what I'm gonna do coming up, I'm telling you, I'm gonna do a whole thing on it so that people can kind of vibe in and we can have our discussions about the personality profiles, because who we are, that it's very, very interesting, and I think it's a very accurate description of personality types. How we react to things is different, and even how we see something like that, like Jen over here is like, hey, what are you talking about? That question is out of order. I'm going to object all day long and all day strong. But another INTJ might not even see it anything like that.
I'd have been excited.
Let's just dive in.
I want to hear.
Exactly. So
that's really interesting. I would love to take that test. I don't know what I am as far as personality wise. I've been told that I'm an empath, so I have to be careful with what I consume in from people with things, because it literally affects me. So I have to and I know I have to protect myself from toxic people, from a lot of drama, that type of stuff. I know I don't do well with that, so I kind of just have to not try to not be around people like that in my life, even family. Like, I know I've cut family members off because they're toxic. I can't do it.
That's part of the I from introvert. So you're probably an I something.
Let's let her take. I'm gonna do the whole thing. Come back, Elle, when I do this one. The next one I do, it might not be.
So should I take the test before you do it, Frank?
Nope. We're gonna do it all in the show. And maybe it's something that we can do with Jen on objections, or maybe it's something I'll talk with Jen.
You want us all to take the test live together?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
And we can do it.
This is gonna be interesting.
Go ahead, Jen.
How long is the test?
You can take the test and go through the test in roughly 10 minutes. So I'll be doing some other things while, basically the chat is taking the test. And then we can go in on some things. Like I just got to actually physically do this, plan the show. So I'm looking forward to
that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm definitely intrigued.
That's why I cut people off, cut them off. Like when I cut you off, it's like forever. Because I am an empath too. I'm not like my sister is not an empath. Like, we'll be sitting somewhere and then I'll feel someone's vibe. And I'm like, do you not see how, and my sister will be like, oh, what? You know what I mean? I'm like, ignorance is bliss. Because I can feel your vibe. And if your vibe is
bad energy.
I'm like, I don't know. I cannot deal. There's actually a scale too in Scientology. And I am not an advocate for Scientology. I do not subscribe, but I had a crazy ex, and he was a devout Scientologist, and he showed me a chart one time called a tone chart, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. Where it's kind of like you can scale someone's tone when they walk in, and then you know how to deal with them. Because some people come in with bad energy, and it's like if you know their tone, it's like, okay, I'll just deal with this person delicately or this way because they have a certain type of energy. So that part I agree with. I thought it was useful because I use it now. Like when someone comes in, or if I'm at a store and the waitress has an attitude, before I used to just react and reciprocate, and now I'm just like, she's a 3. I'm not going to go down there with you. It's like, it's whatever. Give me my stuff so I can leave. So, that helped me with that. But I wouldn't study Scientology. That's a whole other monkey show that it's like.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's why Patrice and Elle knows this as well. Looks like Elle popped out on that one. She's back in. Let me bring this one down and pull.
Now, what if I am an INTJ and I still think that question sucks?
You're not an INTJ already.
Yeah.
INTJ is no.
I don't think that's so fair.
I just think it's impolite. I think it's impolite. It's like the equivalent of me asking a guy on a date, how much do you make? I think
it's impolite, but I'm saying if somebody would have gave me that answer about the insurance, I'd have been all in and listening to it. I'd have been like, wow.
So Frank, do you think Adrian, with that aspect, do you think Adrian could possibly be an INT, whatever it is, Jay? Is it INTJ?
Yeah, she could be.
Just to even break that analysis down like that.
Mm-hmm, exactly. And so there are certain personality types who would tune out maybe 30 seconds into her talking about it. And it's absolutely indicative of the personality type. And the Myers-Briggs nails it for you. Like it'll tell you what, when you answer. Now, the key is when you take it, you have to be honest with yourself when you're doing it. But when bottom line is, what's so cool and insightful is that is what Jen kind of talked about. When you sort of have a certain knowledge or understanding about where people are coming from, then it gives you insight and a little bit of power to understand a little bit of what they're doing, and then so you change how you might normally respond, and so it's really good for understanding and
okay,
and accurate. So yeah, I would say like we all know ourselves, we all know who we are, but when you see it broken down in black and white, and then you see how other personality types are broken down, and you begin to analyze the interaction between them, then you're like, oh, I see now why I don't necessarily get along with that type that will just talk all day. There are other personality types who will they roll with it.
Mm-hmm.
They can just talk and they go for 10, 12 hours, no problem. And it is what it is.
Yeah, I never heard of that. I've heard of like, empaths or narcs or A-types, B-type personality.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard of those, but I've never heard of that. So this is going to be fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. Go ahead. I think it was Ella, Jen.
Me. So, all right. I'm all about credentials and who said what and why we do. Who's Myers-Briggs? Why should I listen to what they think about my personality? Because they put people in 5 little groups.
Right. See, that's what I'm gonna go into it. The two of them are they're a mother-daughter group that studied these aspects and then created the test. But we'll get into all of that.
Okay. So it's like the guy that made up the love languages and whatever.
Yes. Right.
Okay.
So Jen, I can tell the way you're saying that you don't necessarily buy into it, right?
Be good. No.
Is this woman white? Is she white, sir?
I believe that they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They are.
Patrice, I'm just writing my little notes because
listen, I understand. I understand. Just like I don't buy the BMI crap because it was created by probably a man whose perception is what white women back then should look like, the size 4 that Kevin Samuels talks about. I don't buy into that, Frank.
I'll play. But I'm just saying, who all gonna be there? Who all said this is how it's supposed to be? I'll play. I will.
Yeah, let's just play. Go ahead, Elle.
No, I was just telling Patrice, I just got finished watching y'all on Uncle Stu's channel last night. It was you, Vaughn, Big Guy Journey, and the guy from China. I was dying.
Yes. Well, you already know how I feel about that size 4, right?
Oh, that thing was funny. I fell out laughing.
Hey guys, I am looking for a guy named JB. If you guys see a guy named JB, he's a black man, atheist, glasses. He's a tech guy. If you see him, please get his handle because I'm trying to get him on Objections. He's like a soft-spoken guy. So if you see him in any circles, I know sometimes he frequents the platforms. His name is his initials are JB, but I didn't get the name because the platform he was on, they never said his name. Like they don't introduce people. So I don't know. JB, glasses, tech guy, let him know.
Okay.
Objections was looking for him.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something else that's interesting. I have an identical twin sister, and she's an ENTP.
Wow.
So we're
oh my God, y'all with these initials.
Don't worry, we're gonna help you to the game, Patrice. We're gonna help you.
What is that? Now, my mother is a fraternal twin. She's not an identical. She's a fraternal twin, and I have fraternal twin grandchildren. So,
my mother's a twin too, and on my father's side, he had 6 siblings, and 5 of them had sets of twins.
Yeah, twins run in my family too. Let me tell you how weird this is. My mom's a twin. My mom's dad was a twin. My mom's twin married a twin. And my mom twin and her twin have great grandchildren that are twins. I know that's a lot, right?
That's the way it is in my family. It's like we have a twin picture at the family reunion with 9 sets of twins.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay.
Do you know that they have a twin convention? Do you go?
Yeah.
Do you ever go?
Yeah. Too much for me.
Yeah, it's a lot. That's a lot.
All right. Well, first I just want to say thank you to everyone for participating. We started out with our turn-offs, and then we went into a whole lot of different ways. We just had fun with it on this Saturday evening. And then it serves as a segue for a couple different things that we're going to do now in the future. So I'm loving that. And before I close it, I want to always make mention that our next Objections is going to be over on Jen's channel, On the Block with Jen, right up top. So if you haven't already, this is for those of you who are watching in the chat. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to her channel so you can see that pop up. We always do it, and I don't know if the next one will be kind of lighthearted, or if we're going to go hard on something. It'll be up to Jen to find out. Anything you want to say, Jen, before we close it out?
The usual. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the objections and the new information. We're always learning something new here, which is really exciting. And I guess I don't know. What do you think, Patrice and Elle? Should I do the INTJ test? Should I do men and mental health and how they're not really considered when the discussion of mental health is on the table, or should we do turn-ons? I'm gonna let the ladies pick.
Jen,
and even the chat can jump in there too.
And Jen, what's your email? Because I want to email you on a subject that I think would be really good. I don't want to say it on the panel because it's juicy and it could be a little bit controversial. And
okay, I like juicy and controversial.
I know. Yeah.
On the Block with Jen at Gmail.
Okay.
On the Block with Jen at Gmail.
I like men's mental health topic.
Yeah, that's a really good topic.
Yeah, that is a good one. Yeah, I agree.
Because I saw a meme that said the fact that Will Smith had a meme made out of when he was crying shows how how people make fun of men's mental health, or it's not taken seriously, and also with the Jordan meme, with Jordan crying. So I wanted to discuss that a little bit.
And you should maybe try to reach out to Bolo, because his whole page is about men and mental health. Bolo TV. He would probably be a good channel person to bring up to talk about that too, men and mental health.
Thank you. Yeah, that'd be cool. We got to reach out to him. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And
So is
also,
it Saturday night as well?
No, we go on like what, once every, like 3 times
usually
a
it's
week?
twice a week. Yeah,
Twice a
2-3
week.
times a week. And then,
Okay.
you know, that's why I want to make sure, if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, because then it'll pop up when she creates the stream.
Okay.
And then you'll know, because we don't have set specific times yet. Now that might be something we settle into a little later, Elle, but for right now, it's roughly 2 or 3 times a week.
Okay. Thanks.
I think it would be a good subject. I don't really see anybody talking about men and mental health, you know what I mean, in that way where it's like, why does it turn into a joke? I'm sure Bolo does though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
We'll
for
get
sure.
All right. Well, Patrice, you are, old school with it. I want to thank Elle. This is her first time jumping in. And I like your spirit, Elle. I also love the fact that you're an INTJ. Also, INTJs unite. Okay.
Yes, I guess Adrian is too.
She's an INFJ, which is close.
Oh, okay. So here we go. I thought I
Yeah.
saw like, okay, these
There we
initials
go.
is killing me.
Yeah.
A,
Which
B,
is
C,
close.
D.
Wait, Jen, they gonna be in the alphabet group in a minute. They gonna be the INGF element of
See how they do is see how they gotta come in
I
for us,
also
Elle.
have another show coming up too. It's homosexuality.
We're gonna have a whole nother community of alphabet people. God dang it.
And I'm gonna start it.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we head out, I'm gonna give a quick shout. Thank you to Ellie JJ for the Cash App. She hit me with the Cash App. I certainly appreciate it. Ellie JJ sometimes will just be in the background supporting. She might not necessarily come up and do in the chat, but she supports in the background. And so thank you so much for any and all support. All of it works, and all of it is appreciated. All right, guys, we had a good time. This is good. I can't wait.
I've seen you in the back too, Ellie. I do notice your name. I've seen you, the lead attorney, and a couple other panels. So I see you.
Mm-hmm. Always supporting.
I'm just getting used to coming up because I'm still a little gun shy. End up on somebody's channel.
Mm-hmm. Well, hopefully this was a good experience for you here with Objections, right?
It was.
Mm-hmm. We want you to keep going.
We have to give Elle the clock next time. We have to give her the clock.
Don't worry. Yeah. And this, because you brought it up. You might have was expecting your 2 minutes. You want your whole 2 minutes to yourself,
I like
right?
the idea of the clock. I love the idea of the clock because you got to be concise.
That's right. See, that's the INTJ. See what I'm saying? All right, y'all. So until next time, over on Jen's channel, you know how I do. I throw the outro up. Please leave the comments at the end. I'll throw them up on the screen. Appreciate you, y'all.
Thank you, Frank. See you, Jen.
Guys.
Bye, Elle. Wow.